Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome TikTok, welcome YouTube. Today is a beautiful day. And we're talking about dark and light femininity. Since there is all over this banners and everybody's choosing which team they're on, black or green, I decided that we should choose whether we're on team dark femininity or light femininity. Anyways, before we'll start, I wanted to answer a question. So last time I was talking about the self high value woman, and as I said, high value woman is the woman with a good clean masculinity in her. And so I got a question: what would be the worst case scenario if I would always be masculine? So most of women are like this. They are mostly masculine. They are not always in clean masculinity, but mostly in dirty masculinity. But that's how we live most of the time. So what is the worst case scenario? If you will never develop your femininity, you'll be just in masculine energy. You will be providing for yourself all the time. The man that you will be drawing into your life will be somewhat weak. Maybe they wouldn't be able to provide. Not necessarily they don't want to, but they wouldn't have enough strength to kind of or ambition to accomplish much. So this is basically what will be if you decide not to develop your femininity. And a lot of women live like this. They provide for themselves. They cater to themselves. They buy themselves presents and everything. And I mean, don't take me wrong, I love that too. I love to kind of cater to myself, to buy myself, to support myself. But I even more like it when somebody else does it, and especially when it's a man that I admire, that I like, and he provides for me. I enjoy it even more. So from that side, I mean, obviously nothing will happen if you will stay in your masculine energy, nothing whatsoever. I mean, you might start having issues with health, but I mean, this is something that we all cope with. So usually masculine women, they start having issues with health faster because it's not natural for them to overwork, to work longer hours, to be. They're not physically as strong as men. They're strong, but they're not created to endure hardships for a long time. When men are growing in challenges and in working longer hours, maybe been working harder, women are not. So they would start having issues with their reproductive system, with their usually they would start having heart issues, heart problems, also problems with the digestive system. So this is just it's it's your choice basically. But I would rather give it a try and try to become feminine. And if you don't know, I do have a course, an ultimate guide to femininity. It's you can see it in the under this video. There is a link. You can buy it and do the energetic exercises to get to the point of developing some kind of femininity. And you obviously, not everybody can be 75% feminine as you should be, but at least somewhat, at least in some instances, at least when you're at home by yourself and you're relaxed, at least you will have a moment of peace and you will be able to enjoy yourself and just be in pleasure for a little bit. At least aim for that. So that's basically it to that question. I mean, again, nothing will happen if you will never develop femininity. Well, but for the sake of yourself and for your life, for your development, obviously it would be better if you do. Okay, to the topic. So I wouldn't honestly divide the dark and femininity into dark and light, but it was a popular subject for some time, and I saw a lot of videos on TikTok, on YouTube about the dark versus light femininity. I wanted to put my my intake on that. So now it is believed for some reason that light femininity is this woman kind of like a muse. She's just floating around, and dark femininity is this seductress that basically eats men alive. And there is something to that, to both of them. And let me go through it. So I'm going to give you a description of both of them as is energetically correct, and then I will tell you how to develop each one of them if you want to do so. So true femininity is energy of water and energy of earth, and we're supposed to be in our feminine as women, and feminine energy 75% of the time. 25% of the time we should be masculine. Those 75% of the time we're feminine in the energy, in the roles of a woman, wife, and a creator. So when I'm a woman and I'm in my womanly role, I take care of myself, or I hang out with my girlfriends, or I'm not sure, I'm reading, I'm kind of enjoying myself. I am in my feminine energy. So what does it mean? I'm in trust and acceptance that everything is perfectly well. And then I enjoy myself doing what I'm doing. So I'm in pleasure, basically. The same when I'm a wife. So when I'm around men or masculine energy, I'm the same. So I basically trust the man. I trust that he can provide the security for me through whatever means it could be. I accept everything that comes from him, whether it's good or bad. I mean, he could, for example, be a little aggressive, maybe a little angry, but I will be able to convert that energy into something good. And I enjoy myself. So I enjoy myself around men. Obviously, if I wouldn't be, I wouldn't even be socialized with them. But in my role of a wife, I should be around men, or at least I should have some kind of interactions about them, with them. Now, and as a creator, I obviously create. So I am again in my feminine energy. I enjoy myself. When you create, you don't think about, okay, how much money can I make from writing a book. You write in a book because you have it in you and you just want to put it out. You have enough energy to put something outside. So again, you're in your pure femininity. But there is 25% of the time when you are masculine, and this role is the mother or a nurturer. And you don't have to be a physical mother to be in this role. Obviously, every woman is, even if she's not a mother. So in this role, you're nurturing something that you created. This could be a child, or this could be a project. Also, women that are working, that are going to, they that have job. This is when they're spending 25% of their masculinity on. So they're basically, or if they are not working, if they don't have kids, if they don't have no projects, they use those 25% on nurturing their life, their standards. So for example, maybe they go to the gym and they work on their bodies, or maybe they do some kind of maintenance on their looks or something like that. So they basically put in effort. Remember, femininity is inside, light femininity. The dark femininity, masculinity, is outside. So when a woman is by herself, she's enjoying herself. When a woman is with the man, she's enjoying herself. When a woman is a creator, she's again enjoying herself and creating out of enjoyment. Now, when she's in dark femininity, when she's a nurturer, she is outside. She's doing something for basically somebody. And this is the only time. So if you have a job and you are married, ideally you should be putting all the masculinity outside, and when you come home, you're completely feminine with your man in the role of a wife and a woman. So that's how it should be. I'm just giving you a little preview before we'll get to the topic. So basically, what I want to say is that whether you want it or not, you have to have some masculinity in you. And I already was talking about this last time on high value woman, on the subject high value woman, becoming a high value woman. Now, in this dialogue, this is also very important to understand that we should have masculinity. It is important. This is our dark femininity. But we need to remember that it's only 25% of our time. So I will explain now what light femininity is and what dark femininity is. But remember, as much as you would enjoy being in your dark femininity, remember it is only 25% of the time. You could not be more than 25% of the time in dark femininity. Otherwise, you will start competing. A strong masculine man will not want to be next to you. Why? Because you are a man at this moment. So you need to make sure that that you're watching yourself, and don't allow yourself to hang in that dark femininity, even though it's tempting. I'm telling you, sometimes when I'm in my dark femininity and my masculinity, I mean, I'm just loving it. I enjoy myself in that. But then I check myself. I remember that at one point I will get tired, and hopefully by the point I will get tired, I won't already push everybody away from me because I'm so assertive and independent. Okay, so remember that only 25%. So light femininity is what I was saying, like this news that floating around is somewhat similar. It is a woman that can that practices, not practices, but that has this compassion, gentleness in her. That she's very, she's creative, she's in pleasure, she's receptive, accepting, and she's at peace. So this is a woman that is not going to be arguing. She's just basically accepting. You can shout at her and she'll be like, yeah, I understand, it hurts, I know. Like this. She's probably she wouldn't even say that. She would just accept, like, okay, fine, I understand. She would like, it's all inside. Light femininity is always inside. These are feelings inside. Now, dark femininity is this kind of strength, confidence, independence. Um, these women are amazing seductresses. They're somewhat mysterious, they're very powerful, and often very combative. So they would argue with you, they would challenge you, they would show their independence, and they would show it all the time. So this is the woman. Now you would say, well, why do we need to be in our dark femininity? Well, we need to be, because sometimes we need to show the world that there is strength inside of us. If most of the time I'm docile and kind of vulnerable, if I will be all the time like this, people start taking it for granted. But if they know that there is a particular line that they can cross, and after that I will become a little devil, they will be very careful on crossing that line. You need to remember this, that dark femininity is important as long as we are not constantly in it. Because if you constantly will be assertive and in fight mode, you won't enjoy yourself. You won't feel the pleasure at all. You will never enjoy yourself around people, around. You won't be able to create. Why you couldn't create? Because you're in fight mode. You are defending yourself all the time. You see, and that's why it's important. Also, when you're super independent and you're throwing it in everybody's face, for for a man in your life, it will be very hard to do something for you if he knows that you don't really need him and you don't really want him, so to say. So remember, this is it is important to draw a line at one point, and keep yourself at check. So you could be in your dark feminine energy, but only a particular amount of time, until people around you will start realizing, okay, she's too masculine. I can't handle this no more. All right. So how to become? Um, I want to make sure that we're talking about clean light femininity and clean dark femininity. It's not make sure that this is not a dirty femininity. Now I will explain to you. And dirty light femininity would be over emotional state. It would be jealousy. It could be this kind of, well, you don't love me no more, and manipulations through it. All this victim state, oh, you never buy me nothing, like this, and then you kind of manipulating somebody to giving you something. It is light femininity, but it's a dirty light femininity. You don't want this, obviously. Now, dirty dark femininity would be a provocation, would be provocative behavior to compete. So they're like so on edge with themselves that they want to kind of fight with somebody all the time. So, like, for example, dirty dark femininity would be if I would tell the man, oh, I make more money than you. You probably are not, you probably wouldn't even be able to support me. So I'm provoking a man, I'm challenging a man to compete with me. Now, if it's a masculine man, he will be probably just will brush me off and move on with his life. Now, if it's a weak feminine man, he might become violent. Why? Because he wants to prove that he's not that, and he doesn't have that much power to just walk away. So that's where all those all those aggressive men come that sometimes maybe violent towards their women, because women are challenging them and challenge them because they're in that dark masculine state, in dirty masculine state. So remember, we are talking about clean dark femininity, clean light femininity. Clean light femininity is when I'm in peace and comfort, enjoying myself, accepting anything, trusting that everything comes my way is perfect for me. And clean dark femininity is when I'm strong and independent, when I can stand my ground, when I'm playful and seductive. By the way, if you want, this is important to keep in mind that light femininity is never seductive. If you want, you can watch my dialogue on femininity versus sexuality, where I'm giving them the difference and describing them both. So when you are sexual, you are in masculine energy, and this is normal. So this is basically clean dark feminine energy. Now, um, we obviously need to embrace both of them, and we should appreciate them both, because one of them is our femininity, another is our masculinity, and this is important to have them both, because these are two parts of us and they are very important. As I said, you cannot be completely masculine. It would be very hard for you to build some kind of relationship. But if you will be 100% feminine, it will be difficult too, because at that point you will be lost in this world, especially in this masculine world. You will be not only lost in the world, you will be also not able to provide for yourself the security, the even if you have security. Let's imagine you have a lot of money, and I actually had a client like this. She was in her dirty light femininity. She had no masculinity whatsoever. She had a huge trust that was left by her parents, and she basically didn't know what to do. So what she was doing, she was hiding from people, from charities, from organizations. In 25 years, she didn't spoke to maybe 2 or 3 people. How I know that? Because I was managing her accounts. That's how I know. And I even never saw her. I spoke on the phone for her twice in maybe 6 years that I was managing her account. So this is you can have the security, but if you don't have this masculinity inside of you, it will be very hard even to protect that security that you already have. So that's about that you need to have masculinity, so you embracing the both. Now, how do you so depending on what you have more, either whether you if you have more feminine energy, then you would need to develop more of your dark femininity. If you have more masculine energy, then you would need to develop more of your light femininity, so it will be in check. Also depends on the situation. Depends on the situation that you are in. If you are living without a man right now, if you had to provide for yourself, then maybe it's better to be in your dark femininity at least some portion of your time, because you need to stand up for yourself. But remember, if you will be too much, if you will be standing for yourself too much, you will be pushing people away. How will a man come into your life if you basically from far away tell him, "I got this, don't you worry"? So so just see everything depends on the situation. Okay, so how to develop light femininity? You need to, first of all, you need to feel everything inside. Light femininity is inside. So you're working with yourself and with your um, with your emotions inside. The first one is you would need to how I started with my femininity. Well, I have femininity, always had, but it was a little challenging for me because it was very dirty. So I started with practicing gratitude. Gratitude is super important, and it can really bring you very fast to the right state of mind. When you are grateful, when you appreciate everything around you, it's much easier uh, to transfer these feelings to others. So this is important. I started with gratitude. You can start with something else. So I would sit for 15 minutes, and I would be like, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for basically, I would just keep the energy inside of me and I would be grateful. This also helped me with self-love a lot. Now, the other one is you would need to kind of create the inner peace within you. You can't give peace and pleasure to others if you don't have it within yourself. So this is also another thing that you need to work on. You need to create the inner peace and inner pleasure. Another The third one is you need to create the harmony within you and around you. Remember, feminine energy is about this kind of pond of pleasure, but the pond cannot be pleasurable if it's not harmonious. So you need to create the harmony, and you're creating the harmony first within yourself. So you trust and you know everything is going to be perfect, and you are working on that, whether it is perfect or not. Now, uh, once you have this kind of pond of harmony, the sea of harmony, everybody will want to be around that pond or inside that pond because they want to kind of feel this harmonious energy. When masculinity is constantly chaotic and challenged, they need somewhere to come and just basically be in this peace and calmness where they can recharge. And it's not only for men, it's first of all for yourself, but also for maybe your children in the future, if you will have, or if you have now, for your even parents, for your friends. I mean, people will want to be with you if you have this harmony in you. Another one, and I think this is the most important, is you need to embrace your vulnerability and not only embrace it, but be proud of it and not be afraid of it. I constantly tell my clients, you have to be vulnerable, show your vulnerability like non-stop, like a parrot repeating all the time, and they're so prideful. They're so not the well. Pridefulness comes from being afraid to be hurt, but they couldn't allow this weakness in their life. They couldn't allow being seen vulnerable. It's very hard for them, and I understand them because it was extremely hard for me. I also was a woman that had to provide for myself. I lived by myself in a foreign country. For me, I obviously had to kind of cater to myself, and I had to survive, so to say. So I always think, even till now, that if I will be too vulnerable, people will take advantage of me and step all over me. But this is wrong. Vulnerability is strength, and it's a huge strength, like really, really, really. And once you will understand it, you will start using it again and again and again. So you need to embrace vulnerability. You need to allow yourself to show the feelings, um, allow yourself to be authentic, allow yourself to kind of speak and voice your what bothers you, kind of. And trust me, if you think that, so like, if you don't like something, instead of fighting or telling, okay, I don't like this, I'm out, and slamming the door, you can just sit there and tell, listen, I really liked you, but this is just, and I really want to be with you, and I really want this relationship to work. But right now I feel hurt, and that's it. Checkmate. What the guy is going to say. Now, if you're going to slam the door and walk away, I mean, you both are losing, but at least he'll be like, my God, she's crazy. But once you show the vulnerability, the guy will think twice. He'll be like, yeah, she's right. You can't fight fire with fire. So vulnerability is key, and it's not only in the relationship with man, it's in the any kind of relationship, even in the relationship with the environment around us. Like every time I come to a new city, a new country, I put myself in a vulnerable position. So instead of me fighting the city, fighting the country, fighting the regime that is in that country, I make myself vulnerable and I allow myself, I even feel like that I'm vulnerable right now in this place, and I know that this place will protect me. I trust and accept, and I allow my vulnerability to shine. And it worked for me much better than when I used to come with my American attitude to any country and just and just show everybody how it's done in our country. So that's basically that's what about vulnerability. Vulnerability is strength. Remember that and write it down. I had it written down, and I would like always open my notebook and I'm like, vulnerability is strength. So just need to remember this. I need to remember and allow this once in a while. Another one is you need to practice empathy. For me, for example, I'm a person energy of water, so it's very easy. But for women that don't have much feminine energy, they the ones that are masculine. They frankly don't understand why somebody is acting this way or the other. Like if you have a lot of energy of air, you probably will be laughing at somebody's inner demons, so to say. If you are energy of fire, you'll be like, "Why? I don't even want to deal with that." So if you have a lot of that energy, you need to learn how to kind of be empathetic, how to allow, how to see people's emotions and feelings, and kind of embrace them, um, and pay attention kind of to them. So it is important. It is important for me. Probably I'm too empathetic, so for me I should kind of cut on that. But for other people, for other women, and I have those women in my circle, it won't hurt them to be a little empathetic, so to say. And this would kind of make them. They would not only create the bond of pleasure, but they also will be welcoming people in that bond of pleasure. So when somebody will come, they will be welcoming people with open heart into it. So another one to develop the life femininity is you need to develop relationship. And I know it is not very easy for my masculine ladies, for women that have a lot of dark femininity, but it's a key. Femininity is about building the relationship and making those relationships really great, really powerful. It is not only about the connections for the benefit of each other. It is a connection to develop, to kind of to grow together. So this is important. Usually, masculine ladies don't have too many friends. They have a lot of connections. They know a lot of people, but true friends for them, it's hard for them to keep true friends. The same as with men, just because they don't. Building relationship is not their priority, and if you want to develop light femininity, you will need to learn that. You will need to you you could not just ignore other people. If you have a friend and the friend seems to be somewhat disappointed or something, you need to kind of address this issue and speak to her, because your goal is not to go from one friend to another. Your goal is to develop yourself with every single friend, with every single person in your space. You should be neutral, positive with everybody. Um, and from here, you need to be kind of supportive and basically empathetic. So you need to care actually about other people. As I said, in the femininity, it's about light femininity is about being inside. And to be inside, to care for other people, you have to care first of all about yourself and be able to process even these feelings. Now, if you never thought about your own feelings, never really knew what it is um, to even support yourself, if you are very hard on yourself, very demanding on yourself, then how are you going to do to others, right? It's like Samantha in Sex in the City. I mean, she's very airy, and she just doesn't understand why would somebody have some kind of issues or something. So remember this. So to become like to develop a light femininity, you need to embrace your vulnerability. You need to just address it. Like you need to understand that it's a must, that you must be vulnerable. Somebody has to. And if you are in a relationship, it's better if it would be you who is vulnerable, especially if you're a woman, because a man can be strong, and once you become vulnerable, he will want to protect you. He will want to deliver to you everything and give you whatever you would want. But you need to become vulnerable. Then you need to work on your inner kind of state. So you should feel really fully in love, fully grateful for everything you have, and in absolute pleasure to give it to others, obviously. I mean, first to give it to yourself and then to share it with others. If you don't have it, I mean, you could be seductive all you want, but if you don't have pleasure in you, I mean, how long will you last? So it is important. And then you need to create harmony within you and around you, and welcome others in that harmony, in that harmonious state. And you need to learn how to build the relationship. So you will need how to be empathetic, how to be supportive, how to listen to people, how to not just move on if somebody has issues, but to actually open to that person and try to at least be helpful, especially if it's not like really no work on your part. So why not to let somebody talk or something like that. So this is about light femininity. Remember, this is the goal. You creating pleasure inside of you, pleasure, harmony inside of you. Then you creating the space, harmonious space around you, and you welcome people in. Light femininity is inside. You're welcoming people into your space. Now, dark femininity is outside. This is what you're going to do when somebody will come and start stepping all over your pond of harmony and not behaving nicely, maybe even making your pond dirty. So dark femininity is what you will do outside to protect yourself and your pond. Again, this is only 25% of your time, because in light femininity believes that everything is happening for her own good. She trusts and accepts everything that comes. She's not fighting anybody. She is not challenged by anybody. She basically knows that everything is perfect in her life, and everything comes, and everything is truly like everything is peachy in her world, kind of. She knows that nothing could be bad in her world, kind of like this. She's in absolute trust and acceptance of everything that is good. Bad doesn't really even exist in her world, just because a light femininity is inside. And if she feels pleasure, I mean, how can she create something bad? You must understand this. I mean, if I'm in pleasure, I'm only going to get pleasure outside. If I'm in trust, I'm only will get like really good outcomes. It can't be any different. It can't be there. The world outside of us is the mirror, so it mirrors only what I have inside of me. So if I want to fight, I mean, the world outside of me will find who I'm going to fight with, or who I'm going to argue with, just for them. Hello, just for the sake of how I feel inside. If I'm burning inside with fire and I don't know how to kind of control it, chances are, I mean, somebody will step on my foot outside, and I will be very angry. So this is I want you to remember that 75%, the majority of the time, you are in light femininity. You know that everything goes your way, everything is just perfect in your world. All right. So, but there is 25% when you should be in your dark femininity. And truly, I love dark femininity, maybe because I don't have much masculinity in me, but I always love when I am in my dark feminine state. I really admire it, but I get tired fast. I mean, because I spend a lot of energy. This energy is not natural for me, so I spend a lot of it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm tired now. Now I want somebody to hug me and get me a dessert with with something delicious, basically like that. But I enjoy when I am in this state, and sometimes I on purpose drink a lot of coffee or something just to get myself to this state of kind of this dark femininity. So so this is what you do to develop dark femininity. You need to be, first of all, you really need to accept that you're the only one in this world and nobody else is just matters like that. You need to accept your individuality and your independence. You gotta listen. I'm not the again. We're 75% feminine, right? But when we're in that femininity, this is what we're doing. We're basically realizing that no matter, even if you have a husband, a boyfriend, there are 5 kids, parents, and everybody else who caters to you, you need to remember that in this world you're by yourself, and these people are just helping you to develop. You could not depend on them much. I mean, they will provide for you, especially a man in your life will provide for you, but you could not depend on them. You must have this kind of this strength inside of you that will keep you together. So you could be creative and trust and pleasure all the time, but inside there must be this feeling that, okay, I really don't need anybody. I mean, I'm good on my own. But once you will embrace this power, this confidence, this strength, it will be much easier for you to develop light femininity as well. Because when you know you can provide for yourself and you don't really need many people around you, those people that are around you start really appreciating you. Why? Because we socialize energetically, so they feel they feel that strength. They feel that you are not just a lost pond, but you are a very exclusive swimming pool. They know that they could not just step all over you. And this is important. Now, what is also important is not to keep this guard all the time that, okay, I'm so independent, I'm so strong, I don't even need you to talk to me, because this would be already too much. Okay, so how else would you develop the dark femininity? You need to really stand up for yourself. You need to choose yourself at all times. So if the light feminine woman is basically in trust that everybody is provided to her and everything is just good in her life, the dark feminine woman will make sure of it. I mean, she will, she will, she will ensure that people know what they need to provide for her to be in pleasure, kind of like that. So, and this is important, very important. Sometimes you don't even need to voice your standards. People will know them just from how you behave, how you present yourself, and how your energy is. They will feel it. Trust me, they will feel it. When I'm strong, well, I'm most of the time strong. It's just sometimes I don't want to be. But when I want to, and when I'm in my dark femininity, I mean, people feel it from far away. Sometimes I walk on the street and nobody even walks around me because my energy is that strong. People will feel it, especially men. They will feel it. They know who they can fight with and who they shouldn't. So this is what you do. You stand for yourself and for what you do. A dark feminine woman only does what is for her benefit and what she wants. So you don't do anything that doesn't give you any kind of benefit, pleasure, enjoyment. Um, if somebody invites you for lunch, but you would rather go for dinner, then tell that person, okay, I can do dinner with you, but no um, no, what did I say? No lunch, no lunch. So like this, you need to stick to what you want, and I'm sure if you will be sure about lunch, about dinner part, that other person will be like, oh yeah, dinner is much better for me too, so let's do dinner. So you have to be like really stand for yourself, for your wishes. So, look, if you will choose yourself all the time, um, in those 25% that you're practicing dark femininity, you really you will embrace this energy. You can be helping others, you can be listening to others, but at one point enough is enough, and you just need to kind of tell them, okay, that's it. You need to stand for yourself, basically. And if you do it a couple times, I mean, people will start understanding that you are not just just a person to complain to. All right, so this is what you will do. You will stand up for yourself and choose yourself at all times. Now, another thing is you would need to cultivate and create independence in your life, whatever that is for you. So some people might need to have a large bank account, maybe a large investment account. Um, from my past and working um, in finances, I know that it's not really the case. But for some people, it can create some kind of illusion of independence. So if it is something, if money will create independence for you, then create that money pool for yourself, or some kind of income, or maybe different kind of income. So something, find what it is for you. I remember I had a client. She wanted a house, so she really didn't care about the money, but she wanted the house. I don't know. She just felt secure if she would have a house, so she actually purchased. I don't know whether she purchased the house, but she purchased something. So you would need why? So she was married, but for some reason she believed that she needs to have her own property like that. For her, it was her security. I don't know why, but maybe she believed that. Well, I know really, but it could be that she believed that if she has a place to live, she would never feel as dependent on her man as she was when she didn't have a place to live. So like that. So you need to create this kind of independence. Use those 25% to create this independence for yourself. Even if you are married to a super wealthy guy, I'm sure if you will ask him to create for you an investment account, he wouldn't say no. Men are really, they encourage that. They put some money on your IRA, on your Roth IRA, traditional IRA, and everything, just kind of to provide something for you. All right. Another, and what else you can do? You need to start expressing yourself. Now, light femininity is inside, dark femininity is outside. And dark femininity is the time when you can really express yourself, when you can speak about yourself, about your wishes, about your desires, about what you don't like, what you like. It's not the same as keeping the boundaries. This is expressing yourself. So if light femininity would be like, oh, you know what would be nice right now? Go to the beach and have pina colada over there on the beach, in a bungalow on the beach. um, I don't know why did I even say pina colada. I don't even like them. But fine, whatever it is, right? But dark femininity would be like, okay, I think we have to buy a beach house because in summer it's seriously hot here. We need to we need to work on that. Like that. So you're not just daydreaming about something, what would be nice, what would be not nice. There's a place for both of them. You basically stating your wish, and you backing up your wish. It's not just because you want to. It would be nice right now. It's because it does get hot, and it would be nice to have a place mm, by the water. So you need to start expressing yourself, expressing your wishes, and not be afraid of that. This is important. Um, Another one is, well, I think it's pretty obvious. You have to have courage. You have to become courageous, and to be courageous and strong, you have to have your own independence. So when you have independence, it's much easier to kind of to speak up, to express your wishes, to be mm, to be courageous when you have something to back you up, so to say. But don't be afraid. I mean, nobody likes a pushover, and especially masculine men. They are very linear, so they are okay when you express your feelings, when you say something, when you ask for something, when you're not just constantly agree with everything, but you actually have an opinion about stuff. So don't be afraid. But again, it's only 25% of the time, because if you be constantly arguing and challenging a man or anybody else, it won't be already pleasurable. It will be like a battle, and nobody wants to be in the battle. So this is important, but don't be afraid. No fears. It's a it's a dark femininity. Dark femininity. Okay. Another one is to embrace your sexuality. This is important. Important because dark feminine women are seductresses, and sexuality is very masculine. Um, you won't be able to be a seductress 100% of the time, but it would be good for a change to be sometimes. um, Remember, as a feminine woman enjoys the pleasure, not the outcome. But it is the masculine part that needs the outcome from the pleasure. So those 25% use for the to get out of pleasure harmoniously, to get an orgasm or something like that. Plus, you need to a seductress is the woman that has fire in her. I can have as much water as I can. I can be given pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. But at one point, you need to you need to get some fire to get some kind of result. So embrace your sexuality. Sexuality is masculine, and embrace being as the seductive kind of vixen. It is not bad. It's not bad. Sexual power is sexuality is very powerful, and it's a very strong power. So use it if you have it, especially if you have a lot of fire. You should use it now. But at first, you need to embrace it. Don't feel embarrassing for it. Don't feel like you shouldn't be. like it's maybe sinful or whatever, I don't know. I mean, whatever your culture is, it is normal. You have to be somewhat in life. To create, you need to create, to have passion for something, and sexuality creating that passion. So when you embracing your sexuality and becoming um, this seductive kind of feminine feminine siren, this is when the creation starts, whether it will be a child or a project or something else. So embrace them, embrace your sexuality. Just a second. Um, all right, so that's on that. So I think it did. So you have to be, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to cultivate independence, become real independent, whatever it is for you, whatever it is, honestly. Could be a large sum of money, could be a house, could be your own, maybe some kind of project. Whatever it is for you, you need to find where your independence is. Then you need to kind of be proud that you have this power, that you see, I have a lot of femininity in me. And for a long time, I was embarrassed for my light femininity because I would be so like playful, then I would start to cry. Like I had a lot of emotions and I couldn't control them. I didn't know what to do with them. Sometimes it would be too much, too enjoying. Like I could spend like a couple of days just enjoying myself and not doing nothing. It would scare me because why I'm not doing nothing. I mean, right now I can spend 2 days and then in one day I really be productive. But before I couldn't understand what is happening with me. So I was often like embarrassed for the way I was. And I know women that are masculine, they're also embarrassed for the way they are. Like, for example, if when people tell them, oh, you're too aggressive, yeah, they already know that they're too aggressive. And when somebody tells that, they become even like they understand this. They understand that they're aggressive, and it hurts them to hear this. They are embarrassed for their, like maybe sometimes even somewhat violent approach to anything. So embrace your dark femininity, embrace your light femininity, accept that it's two parts of you and those parts are both important. Then be obviously courageous, be strong, um, um, keep your boundaries intact, make sure um, embrace your sexuality, and learn how to express yourself, not just expressing as I wouldn't mind to do this, but I want to travel. You traveling with me, or I'm traveling by myself? I mean, let's choose choose right now. So like that. Okay, I think that's it. I have some more, but I think this is enough. Otherwise, it'll be too much. So to sum it up, basically, ideal woman has light and dark femininity in her. So everybody, every woman that's developing has dark and light femininity in her. This is ideally how it should be. A woman should have 75% of her feminine energy, this is light femininity, and 25% of her masculine energy, this is her dark femininity. Neither one of them is good or bad. It's just they complement each other and they make a woman well-rounded, self-sufficient. Now, why wouldn't you have more dark femininity than light? Why wouldn't you do 50-50? Because that will make a woman too aggressive, too competitive, too independent. At that point, she wouldn't need a man. Or she, and then if she doesn't need a man, if every woman will be super independent, then men will have nobody to care for, to provide for, and they will become weaker, more feminine. What I think right now is happening, there are a lot of feminine men. I mean, fortunately, not in my surrounding, but this is what my clients say. Why? Because they are masculine, they are very strong and very independent. So you need to make sure that dark femininity is only 25% of your time, and 75% of your time is your light femininity. And how you do that, you basically ensuring that in three of your roles, a wife, a woman, and the creator, you stay in your feminine energy. So when you are with the man, you're in trust, you're in your light feminine energy. Don't fight with him, don't challenge him, Don't just be in trust and enjoy yourself. He's creating the security for you. When you are with yourself as a woman, enjoy yourself. You know, you don't need to solve world problems when you have this time for yourself. When you are creating, obviously the same thing. Don't try to calculate everything. Just create. It's coming from you. You don't. It's like when a woman trying to get pregnant and she calculates. Okay, this day, like when should I get pregnant? So the baby will have this particular planets in there. I mean, this is a little too much. If you will have a baby out of passion, the baby will already come up with a very strong energy. You wouldn't even need the extra extra help from the planets. So when you create, also be feminine. You don't need to. Now you're masculine only when you are a nurturer. This is only one role, the fourth role, and this is when you are upgrading your life. When you're either working on something, whether you're working, so you have a job, whether you are upgrading your standards, whether you're working on your body. This is when you are in your dark masculinity. Now, light masculinity. So they both are very important, obviously, and one after the other could not live. If you wouldn't have any dark femininity, masculinity, then you would be basically you would be without borders. You wouldn't last too long. People would step all over you because they could feel that you're too nice, too kind, too just blah. So light femininity is inside. This is harmony, peace, pleasure, creativity, compassion towards others and towards maybe some kind of their issues. It's this, it's the softness, it's gratitude, self love, all this light femininity. Dark femininity is strength, independence, strong independence, what is not power, they are not afraid of something new, of transformation, of maybe even embracing some challenges in their life. They're very seductive and somewhat mysterious. Why mysterious? Because they are focused on what to come. They really not focused much on the others, so they come off as a little mysterious. And they obviously sexual. Women in dark femininity are sexual. This is okay as long as it's 25%, because your goal is to enjoy, not to not to get the result. So these are, and I'm talking about clean, dark, and light femininity. Make sure that don't you worry about whether you have enough light femininity or dark femininity. Make sure that they're both clean to start with. So if you're over emotional, or you're over, or you're fighting too much, or you're in like this combative mode all the time, like you're very aggressive, assertive, or when you're in the victim mode, these are all dirty femininity, light and dark, but it's all dirty. None of this negative kind of negativity bringing emotions and feelings are helping you or me or anybody else. So make sure that what we're talking about clean dark feminine energy and clean light feminine energy. All right. And how to develop light feminine energy? You need to develop relationships. So it's your job to kind of develop relationship. But before that, you need to create harmony, peace, and pleasure inside of you. So once you create that, you can invite people in. You will start drawing people in, and when you start drawing people in, it is your job to build the relationship, not just basically let them in and out like that, because um, this is. This is your development. And how to do that? You would need to be somewhat empathetic. You would need to be somewhat involved in another person's life. You can be somewhat supportive. I mean, not don't let people like treat you like a cry shoulder all the time, like it was my case. But again, it is okay to kind of to be a little empathetic, especially when a person has a tragedy in their life or some kind of drama. I mean, it's okay. I know. Listen, I have masculine friends, masculine women in my life. Not only friends. I mean, I have masculine women in my life, and I know how they react. I'm actually grateful because with them I never allow myself any kind of much emotions, because I know it will not have any effect on them. They are very linear. But if you want to develop light femininity, you will need to learn how to do that. You will need to learn how to actually understand people, and kind of put yourself in their place or something. Like for once, maybe try to what is it? Just a second. Try to understand them. Try to see their perspective, kind of like that. All right, so this is talking about light femininity. But first, you need to raise it within you. I mean, obviously, if you don't have it within you, if you are not even compassionate towards yourself, if you're only hard on yourself, then how are you going to do it for others? You probably won't. So first, in yourself, through gratitude, through self-love meditation, um, through not sure, like calming yourself down, meditating. This is what you will do. And another thing, you need to embrace vulnerability. You need to make vulnerability your powerful tool. You need to understand that vulnerability is actually strength, not weakness. And the more you use it, the more powerful you become. Long time ago, when I first came to United States, I was very assertive. And I mean, I was like always in a fight mode because I had to fight for myself. But I was working with one woman. She was not from my culture. She was from a Mediterranean culture, and she was very like this. Very, I mean, maybe her femininity was a little dirty, but still, I saw how through vulnerability she was getting anything she wanted from everybody around. And I like maybe despised her a little bit, but on the other hand, I was even somewhat jealous and envious that she could get her way through making herself looking like being weak. And only years, like maybe 12 or 13 years after that, when I started studying Tantra, I started understanding what she was doing. Unknowingly, she was doing it because her mother was doing it. But I understood what she was doing. And again, it was very dirty. It was not as good as it would be. Like, for example, she was like, oh, I wish I could go see my mother, but I really cannot. I can't afford it. So the guy that would be next to her, the manager, or the boss, or the client, or whoever, they'd be like, okay, I will give you the money. But at one point, they were tired of her because this would never stop. I mean, they wouldn't get um, no, there was no good emotions at all. They were doing it out of pity, and this was also wrong. So remember, vulnerability is strength as long as you do it right. Now, to work on your dark femininity, you need to develop your masculinity in you. I already spoke about this last time, but you need to stand up for yourself. If 25% of your time you will be doing what you want to do, and basically guarding your peace, and just choosing yourself 25% of the time, that would be more than enough. But you need to make sure that you are unapologetic about your boundaries, about what is allowed and not allowed in your life. Then you need to create the independence, whatever it is for you. Create it as you want, but you need to create it somehow. You need to feel that you could live and survive without other people. That's it. This is what dark femininity is. I am here. I am by myself, and you know what? I can win you all over like that. That dark femininity is basically um, a warrior, a one warrior person, like in life. So um, you need to be independent. So you obviously you're accepting everything from man, from universe, from your clients, but you know that you can survive even without all of this. You need to embrace your power and not be apologetic for it. Yes, sometimes you can be maybe aggressive. Yes, sometimes you could be even rude, sometimes this and this, but you just accept it as it is. It is part of you, and people will have to take it. You will work on yourself, but they will have to take it as well. Another point is you need to learn how to express yourself. There's expressing yourself is important. You voicing your wishes, and uh, you you turn them into, first of all, to yourself, then to the universe, and then to anybody who is around you. Otherwise, how else will you get anything if you will never voice? Remember, the wishes that are in light femininity are more like a fleeting desires, I would love to be on the beach right now, but I'm okay here. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I should do my hair up more often. Um, Thank you. But so basically, you need to express. Now, when you are in dark femininity, your wishes are unapologetic. They're very strong. Like, for example, when I want something and I want something in, I will just I will just speak it out, that's it. That's already non-negotiable, even to myself. Like I could be, oh, I need to buy this. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. Maybe should I buy? Should I not buy? Like this. This is my light femininity, just like wishing, dreaming. But once I decide something, okay, I need to buy this. That's it. I know it will be bought. I don't know how, but it will be bought. It will be bought soon. So you need to express your wishes. Yeah, and I think that's it. And embrace your sexuality. Don't be shy. Don't be shy and don't be apologetic for it. Sexuality is important. Embrace that you could be this seductive kind of siren, as long as you are not constant on it and you are not counting on it all the time. Because men like pleasure. Not They also have sexuality. They need pleasure. Now, man develops a little bit softness in them, and you develop a little fire in you, like that. Then you will complement each other. If you will be very sexual, you will draw feminine men into your life. So men will be very soft. They wouldn't be as sexual as you would want them to be. And this is not how it should be. You should be 75% soft and 25% sexual, and it should be vice versa. It's the man that is kind of approaching you, not you. And this is important. Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. I covered the topic. If you have any questions, you can ask or send me questions after. But I hope I put some light into it, because there is a lot of a lot of a lot of different video about it. Remember, a dark feminine woman is not the woman that manipulates men. This is the woman that speak to men as to their two equals. She's masculine in that moment. A light feminine woman is what women want, what men want. They want this woman that is this soft, receptive, in trust. But if at one point this soft woman will not show her her clothes, I mean, he will just take her for granted. That's why being in dark femininity is important once in a while. So the man is kept in check. Not only man, anybody. If you have friends, if you have relatives that are kind of abusing you, I mean, that's because you don't embrace your dark femininity. You don't have enough masculinity in you. So think about that. All right. I think that's it. Um, we're getting together on Sunday, and I think I will change the topic. Either it will be lucky girl syndrome, or have men give you whatever you want. This is a really good one subject, and it won't be you wouldn't it won't be something that you think it would be. It's a good one. Okay, that's it. Um, Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you TikTok. I'll see you all on Sunday at 11 a.m. Thank you YouTube. If you have questions, ask. If I'll see you on Sunday at 11 a.m. Bye TikTok. Bye YouTube.